Hey everyone, Macca here, and it's good to be back with another 100% full game walkthrough with another game on Xbox Game Pass. Today we're playing Peppa Pig World Adventures. This is obviously a pretty easy game as it's designed for children, but playing it naturally will come out to around 2 hours, whereas following this video should get you done in under 40 minutes. I'll be giving you some tips and tricks to kind of cut down on the time. There's also a bunch of collectibles you can grab along the way. And there's a couple of things that happen that are maybe a little bit less obvious that I'll just kind of explain so you don't have to figure them out for yourself. Right away, we're just going to get started right into the game. Press play, and we're going to create our character. You're free to create any character you want, but the faster you get through this menu, the faster we get into the game. So I'm just going to keep things pretty basic here with the standard character as much as possible. We'll get through that, and at the end I will add a little bit of a pirate's hat just for a little bit of extra fun. These games are actually like, if I was the intended target of a 3-year-old, they'd be a little bit not too bad. But anytime there's a cutscene, we can just hold the A button to skip that cutscene, and we're going to be doing that to save on time. As soon as we're able to, use the left stick to move to the right, and that's how you move your character from left to right. And there is one button you use to interact with items in this game. It is the A button. We'll skip the other cutscene, and we can then jump into the mud puddle if we want. If we're locked into a little bit of like an event like this, you can also hold the B button to exit an activity like this, but usually you're only able to exit it after the second time. So get through the jumping in the mud puddle, and then after that, you can continue to walk to the right. In this game, we'll be visiting 9 countries or cities that are kind of popular tourist attractions. We'll be grabbing a bunch of collectibles along the way called souvenirs, and a couple of other things you can actually pretty easily miss, but no worries, just keep skipping through the cutscenes until we're able to create our family. In your family, you can make as many people as you'd like, but I'm just going to keep it simple and press the green check mark. And then after the small little dialogue about adding members to your family, I'm just going to skip ahead and go and click the green check mark. Every now and again, I do like to play a game like this just to kind of see what games are in development, what the future gamers are playing at a young age. And it's always nice to get a little bit of easy Gamerscore out of the way. But this one is definitely one of the better easy games you can play, to be honest. After that, you will be able to skip a cutscene and you'll be at a soccer ball. Just go ahead and kick that soccer ball down to the right-hand side. After about 5 kicks, you should be able to score a goal. This is something you'll need to do to make progress. Skip the cutscene again, and then just do it again and score another goal. The objective, or the goal, of the game is to go to all 9 of these like tourist locations, and in each one of them, we just have to kind of complete something that goes with that location. So when we go to New York, we'll go to the top of the Empire State Building, and so on and so on. Keep skipping cutscenes to just make your way through as quickly as possible. Our goal is to get to the part of the game where you go on the world tour. So you get to then create your house. I'm just going to keep it as the default stock house to make things a little bit faster. This introduction is easily the longest part of the game. Skip through the cutscene. Skip through the cutscene, and then go towards the left-hand side and go to the door, and your neighbor, Peppa Pig, and her family will come and talk to you. You can then skip that cutscene as well. You'll then be taught how to ride the bike. The bike is pretty useful. Just go up to it, press A. You can then use left to right stick, hold A to speed up the bike, and you can also press X to ring the bell, which I will be ignoring for now. We're going to ride to the right-hand side, which is towards our playgroup. There will be a cutscene here again, which I believe we can skip. And then we'll be inside of the playgroup, which we can skip again. As you leave the house, let's try to go on that world tour by going towards the cruise ship sign, which is to the left. We're going to have to go to the left towards our bikes, past our house, past more fields, past Peppa Pig's house, and then we'll eventually end up at the cruise ship docking stations. So we're just going to keep going to the left for a little bit here. there are some items and people you can interact with that for the most part I'll be ignoring as they aren't along the kind of 100% mainline quest line. When you make it to the next screen, you should come to your house. We're going to skip that cutscene as well, and then continue to the left towards that cruise ship sign. Once we start going on the world tour, things are going to pick up a little bit more quickly. Get back on your bike and go to the left. Feel free to hold A to go fast again. For some reason, Peppa Pig likes to go the wrong way a lot of the times. Go to the left into the next screen. And now we'll be at Peppa Pig's house. We'll skip the cutscene and then go towards the car. Once at the car, just interact with the front door of the car. You may interact with Peppa Pig's dad instead, which is completely fine. You'll just have to skip through that dialogue until you can get into the front seat of the car. This will take you towards the cruise ship, and now we can begin our world tour. We'll take about 3 to 5 minutes in each of the cities, and we'll also grab some collectibles along the way, which you don't want to miss. We do need to collect 8 souvenirs. I think you can beat the game only collecting about 7 of them. Not 100% sure, but it's better to get more than not enough. So you're going to interact with this little map, or this little board of pictures, and then you'll be able to select where we go. So we're going to just select the first place, and we're going to do them in order. There will be a place added to the bottom right at the end of the game. So just click New York, and this will take you to New York. Concrete jungle, where dreams are made of. In New York, just skip through the cutscenes until you're able to select your character here. You want to grab your suitcase and then walk to the right-hand side towards the taxi. Interact with the taxi to get inside, skipping the cutscene. Then we'll be in a taxi minigame, which I believe just is kind of based on time. It doesn't seem like being good at this minigame really does much. All you want to do is press up and down to move the taxi into the free lane. And I think this might be randomly generated every time, but don't quote me on that. I did do this game about 2 or 3 times before filming this video, just to make sure I'm not showing you anything you don't need to do. So just weave in between traffic until you get out of the taxi automatically. Once you exit the taxi, go ahead and skip the cutscene. Do not go through the doors. Instead, go to the left-hand side and interact with the mailbox to grab the I Love New York sticker as a souvenir. That's going to be our first of 8. And now we can click the doors to head to the elevator, skipping the cutscenes when possible, and then holding the elevator button to get to the very top of the Empire State Building. At the top, there's going to be another souvenir that we want to grab before we interact with anything else, so we're going to make sure to do that. In this game, interacting with something often leads you to the next area, and then you can't come back and interact with whatever was there. So once you're here, you will get the Top of the World achievement, and once you gain control of your character, go to the left-hand side and pick up the Statue of Liberty. Tongue twister there for me for some reason. That's another souvenir, so we're at 2 out of 8. And then you can interact with the little binocular things, and once in here, look to the right-hand side and keep moving to the right. You're going to have 3 points of interest. Your first one will be the Central Park tree. I believe the second one is the bridge, and the third one is the Statue of Liberty. Once you get through all of these, you should automatically be taken back to the cruise ship docks.
That is the Brooklyn Bridge. It used to be the longest bridge in the world. Look! A big green lady with an Statue of Liberty. It's the most famous landmark in the city.
You'll end up back at Peppa Pig's house. Don't do anything. Just immediately go towards the car and interact with it. This will allow you to just drive right back to the cruise ship docks. And we'll be able to go to our second location, which, if I remember correctly, is London. Although I am misremembering it, because now I remember that it's actually Germany. So my bad on that one. London's coming up later. So go to the board. Make sure you don't select New York again, because then it's really annoying to have to redo New York. So go over to the Ferris wheel, which is Germany. You can click that, lock it in, scroll through the cutscenes, and this one is one of the faster ones, I believe. So just kind of skip through the cutscenes and begin walking to the right-hand side. Here you can interact with the Christmas tree, and then we'll have to decorate the Christmas tree. So there are 4 stands. Let's start to the right-hand side. I'm going to start with the star. We'll pick up the star and then go interact with the tree. You can do these in any order, but this is kind of just the fastest way to do it. The second decoration we'll do is the bow, the red bow to the right-hand side. We'll interact with that stall and then put it on the tree. The third decoration we'll grab is the candy cane, which automatically is a souvenir that we'll be able to count as a collectible. Although this one is mandatory, we'll put the candy cane on the tree as well. And then the fourth and final decoration here, I believe, is the bell or the ornament. And we'll add that to the tree, and then that should complete the Christmas tree decorating minigame and unlock us an achievement or trophy. At this point, you should be able to just walk to the left-hand side and then just exit out of Germany. I think this is the fastest way to do this. You will get a little bit of a warning from Peppa Pig, but we're going to ignore that warning. It's faster just to leave than to actually complete the entire area there. We'll end up back at the cruise ship dock, and we'll go to the third area, which I believe is Barcelona. So let's go ahead and go to the board of pictures again. We'll select the third location, which is Barcelona.
Germany has some in Barcelona.
Barcelona does also have some collectibles and an achievement tied specifically to that location. We'll skip the cutscenes as always to make this as quick as possible. And the first thing we'll do is we'll end up at the flower market, and there's kind of a couple of souvenirs we're going to work on here. We're going to walk to the right-hand side to start with. We're going to ignore the little pinwheel guy, and almost at the very end here, we'll be able to find this vendor. And Peppa will mention the beautiful flowers. We're going to take the flower from this vendor at the very right-hand side. We're going to take the flowers from the vendor in the middle, and we're going to take the flowers from the vendor on the left. Ignoring everyone else we can interact with. We should have a blue flower, a sunflower, and then a red flower here at the end. And with all 3 of these flowers, we can just hand them over to Peppa's mom.
Mommy!
And I believe this counts as a souvenir, but I'm not 100% sure on that. There is a souvenir we can grab once we start walking back to the right-hand side, ignoring the pinwheels. Ignoring the sunflowers. And then past this lamppost, you'll find a vendor with the red flower in the pot, and you can take this as a souvenir. Once we have that souvenir, we can walk to the right-hand side to get to the next screen. And then this is the artistic rendition of the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. Not a great artistic rendition in my opinion, but it is what it is. I think you're allowed to go inside and learn some information about it. We're going to skip it as we don't actually need to do it. The other thing we need is the soccer ball in Barcelona, which is for a souvenir and an achievement. So just skip across this building entirely and keep walking to the right-hand side to end up at the beach. Once at the beach, we're going to just keep interacting with the soccer ball until we kind of finish this little mini game and win or lose. I don't think you can really lose in these games. So I'm going to kick the soccer ball to the right-hand side. We're going to score a goal. And then I think we do have to score a second one, but I think Peppa's dad here is actually going to like be a goalie.
Go for the goal.
Or he tried to be, and he was. So that's kind of just, I think, automatically a part of this little mini game. And once you score the second goal, I believe that unlocks the achievement as well as completes Barcelona for us. We end up back at Peppa's house. We ignore everything possible here. We go straight back into the car to end up back at the dock. Now we get to go to our 4th of 8 locations. I think I said 9 earlier in the game, but I guess Peppa Pig didn't teach me to count well enough, unfortunately. So the 4th location on our board here is Australia, one of the shorter and easier ones for sure.
This is New York.
In Australia, I believe we are visiting the Great Barrier Reef.
Very far. Are you sure you want to go? Great choice.
Again, we're just going to kind of completely ignore everything here when possible to save ourselves time, skipping the cutscenes, not going into the house or interacting with anything here. We're going to go straight into the car on the right-hand side.
Just up ahead.
And then we're going to move the car by holding right on the stick. And you can actually hold A to make the car go faster in this case. This will end up at the beach, skip the cutscenes, and go immediately into the submarine. Once in the submarine, all you want to do is head to the right and head down to the bottom of the ocean. So go to the bottom of the ocean and then just keep moving to the right-hand side. At the very end of this ocean, you'll be able to find a treasure chest, which counts not only as a souvenir, but as our kind of main objective to finish Australia. Once back at the house, all you want to do is just go completely all the way to the left. Ignore the house, the car, and the plane. And this should just allow you to leave Australia early. You will get a little bit of a warning from Peppa, but we're going to ignore that. This allows us to skip the cricket mini game that you would have to play if you interacted with the plane. Back at the harbor, let's go for the next city, which I believe is London. This time I know I'm right. London is one of the easier ones, but also has a few souvenirs to grab as well, I believe.
This is New York. Germany has some in Barcelona. Australia is London is our cap. Are you sure you want to go? Great choice.
So this one's actually pretty wild. We're going to go and interact with the speakerphone here to talk to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And this launches maybe one of the greatest sequences in video game history, where Peppa Pig and her friends get to play with the Queen. We can then leave the Buckingham Palace to go towards a double-decker bus that takes us over to Trafalgar Square. And here we get to do a little bit of a mini game just to interact with the Big Ben.
Well done. You did a...
This is Tower Bridge.
Skip the cutscene and go towards Tower Bridge. Tower Bridge is going to open to let a boat through, and then we are going to fast and furious our way across the gap here in the double-decker bus with Queen Elizabeth as the driver. Once you kind of get hooked on the top here, just walk to the right-hand side so you can get the bus unstuck.
Hooray! Well done.
We'll then end up here at Trafalgar Square, and you will get your achievement for London. We're going to just complete this area here. Move to the right-hand side, and you'll find Peppa near a puddle. Go up and interact with that puddle. You can then quit out of the puddle. And then follow her to the next puddle, which is on the left. Interact with that, and then press B to quit out of that puddle. It's just faster than having to go through that minigame. And then follow Peppa Pig towards the middle puddle. And again, we're going to skip the cutscene here. And one of the best still frame screenshots from any video game ever of all time. The in memoriam screenshot of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II inside of Peppa Pig World Adventures. Almost spit out my coffee when I saw that for the first time. End up back at Peppa Pig's house. We're going to immediately interact with the car again. This will allow us to go back to the cruise ship docks. And once at the harbor, we're going to interact with the picture board again. The next location we can go is to Italy.
Germany has some in Barcelona. Australia. London is our Italy. Are you sure you? Great choice.
So we're going to choose Italy, and then we have to make a pizza in Italy. Ignore the house and the pool and everything else here by skipping the cutscenes, and then just immediately walk to the right-hand side of the screen to transition to the next screen. Skip the cutscene, and then just keep walking to the right-hand side. There's a souvenir shop. We're going to interact with it. You should automatically get a souvenir here. And then just keep walking to the right-hand side. You can also pick up this plate here right next to the souvenir shop.
We've almost arrived. Come this way.
And then after the plate, just keep walking to the right-hand side. You'll end up seeing this pizza maker here in the middle. Interact with the pizza maker, and then you'll just have to select all 4 of the toppings, which are tomatoes, olives, cheese, and I guess arugula, or maybe that's basil, I guess. That makes more sense. After that, you can interact with the pizza itself, and then you'll interact with the pizza maker to like put it into the oven. I'm just going to hold A here, and then that should make the pizza. Once you have the pizza, go to the right-hand side, and you can give the pizza to the table here in the middle. And then that should be your achievement. So after you deliver the pizza and the achievements unlock here, we can go to the right-hand side and interact with this little postage mailbox. But we don't have a postcard. To get the postcard, we'll have to revisit the souvenir shop. We weren't able to grab the postcard on our first way through, so you have to interact with the mailbox first. So now that I've interacted with the mailbox, I'm going to go all the way to the left towards that souvenir shop, and there is a wall of postcards. And with that wall of postcards, you can ride your bike. It saves you a few seconds if you're a big Peppa Pig speed runner. This would be a useful strategy. And then once you get to the souvenir shop, just go up to the postcards and interact with them. I think you might have to wait for Peppa to come with you.
Hello there.
And you can't ride your bike while holding a postcard because that would be dangerous. So we're going to then walk all the way back to the mailbox and then mail off our postcard. As we walk by Peppa Pig's mom, make sure to interact. She's actually the one who's going to sign the postcard with an address, so it goes somewhere, because we're just children. And then we can put the postcard into the mailbox to finish off Italy by skipping all of these little cutscenes here. All right, this is one of the final ones here. We're going to interact with the car again to go back to the harbor dock. And then I believe this last location we're going to go to is for the Eiffel Tower. There is a secret location that you unlock once you do all the other ones.
Ahoy! This is New York. Germany has some in Barcelona.
So
Australia,
go ahead, go
London,
down
Italy.
towards
This is Paris.
Paris.
Sure you want great choice.
And then for Paris, all we need to do is get to the top of the Eiffel Tower for the achievement, and then we'll be able to come back. There's a couple of things to do, like in town, at your own house, and at the playground. And then our last location will be automatically invited to go to Hollywood to finish off the game. So once in Paris, just keep walking towards the right-hand side. You can pretty much ignore all of this stuff unless for some reason you still need souvenirs. But those should be already unlocked, or you'll unlock them kind of automatically here as we go through Paris. You can pick up a little Eiffel Tower statue here at the souvenir shop that does count as a souvenir. And then go towards the elevator inside of the Eiffel Tower, and then just hold the A button to make it go up.
Up and up we go.
Another very good artistic rendition for Peppa Pig. Skip the cutscenes, and once at the top, you can basically just interact with the 3 views of Paris. So if you interact with the middle of the platform, you'll see the Eiffel Tower itself. If you interact with the right
Can you see the Arc
of the
de Triomphe?
platform, I believe you see the Arc de Triomphe. And then if you interact with the left, you'll see the Notre Dame Cathedral. And I believe after you interact with all 3 of these points of interest, I believe that wraps up Paris automatically, bringing us back into town, where we can grab just a few things before we head out and finish the game.
I see it.
Well done.
The window looks like a flower.
You're right, it does.
This was so much fun.
All right, perfect. So once we're done with Paris, let's go ahead and go back home. So from Peppa's house, go to the right-hand side. Once here, take your bike, and we're going to ride it, and just press A to go fast again. Skip the cutscene and then go into your house. Then you'll be invited to go to Hollywood, but we're going to hold off on that for a while because it's the last thing we want to do. Instead, go into your house and then go to the far right of the downstairs. Here you'll be noticing some of the souvenirs we grabbed along the way, some of the automatic ones and some of the ones we picked up on purpose. You'll end up in the living room, and then you'll find Tiddles the turtle in the middle of the room. Interact with Tiddles, and then Tiddles will disappear, and now we're basically playing hide and seek to find him. Or her, I'm not actually sure. But there are 3 locations you can find Tiddles. One of them is the garbage can inside of the kitchen. Another location is to go upstairs into your bedroom and look under the bed. So the top of the stairs, go to the right-hand side and look under the bed. You can find Tiddles here. And the third location, if Tiddles isn't in the first 2, is to go into the room upstairs on the left-hand side and look into the filing cabinet. So he'll be in one of those 3 locations. The garbage can in the kitchen, under your bed in your bedroom, or in the filing cabinet in the office. Once you find Tiddles, you'll unlock an achievement or trophy for doing that, and then you can head outside. And from your house, you want to go to the right. This will go towards the Playgroup area, because we still need to play basketball for one of the kind of missable little achievements here. So go to the right-hand side. We're going away from the cruise ship, but that's okay. We're going towards our playgroup. We were here earlier, but the playgroup was inside of the building, so we couldn't play basketball with them. But now that we've returned, they're on a little bit of an outdoor break. And during this outdoor break, we are able to play basketball with them. So ignore this little house or the school house. Go to the right-hand side to the next screen. Here you'll end up at the playground. And then at the playground, interact with the basketball player in the middle. You can skip the cutscenes here in order to finish that achievement off. You can press B to exit out of the cutscene. And then we are done with basketball. There's only one thing left to do, which is to go to Hollywood. So we're going to do that by going all the way to the very far left of the screen, interacting with Peppa's car to get back to the cruise ship dock. Once here, interact with the board, selecting the final location, which is Hollywood. And then once in Hollywood, there's about a minute of gameplay here before we unlock what should be our final achievement. Skip the cutscenes to get control of your character as quickly as possible here. There may be some things you can interact with, like the stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Some of the storefronts seem to also be points of interest. For the most part, I've just ignored all these, as the only thing we need to do is interact with Potato Man and whatever the other do, Spud Guy and Potato Man, Super Potato and Hash Brown. We're going to interact with them, skipping the cutscenes, and then go on stage with the little moon and interact here. Skip the cutscene, you'll go to a small mini game where you have to walk towards the carrots. Go towards the carrots and press A to catch them. Then the carrots will kind of spawn in on the right-hand side. We will repeat that, skipping the cutscene. And then in the middle of the screen, catch the carrots and skip the cutscene. Once you do that, you should unlock an achievement here. This one's rare, surprisingly. And that is that. You should have 12 out of 12, 1,000 out of 1,000. The only thing left for you to do is to like this video, uninstall the game. Thank you so much for watching. Share the video with a friend. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show, and hopefully I see you next time. Peace.